Hi and welcome to Tutorial O, Obtaining Objectivity. I'm not trying to do every bit of objective writing that there is, but we'll look at a couple of them. A letter, a business email, a review, and then we continue with our grammar. But let's begin with that business letter. Quite a useful mnemonic for business emails and letters, the SCRAP, which stands for situation, complication, resolution, action, and politeness. Situation, what's the situation right now? What's the problem in the next paragraph that needs to be dealt with? What's your proposed way to fix the problem? What are we going to do about it? What action is going to be taken? Sometimes to me those two are the same thing. And then politeness, the last paragraph, I always end off with, thank you for your attention. For example, hi Paul, lovely to meet you yesterday, happy we were able to chat, that's the situation about the new style phones. Complication, you mentioned the price of covers, it's becoming expensive. Resolution, I really hope we can chat about it, ways to reduce these costs. Action, what are we going to do? Can we please schedule a meeting next week, maybe on Monday? Politeness, I look forward to hearing from you, your colleague Sam. So there we've used situation, complication, resolution, action, and politeness. That's pretty much all I'm saying about business letters and emails right now. I'm moving on to a book review. Similar notes would apply to a film, movie review. Read the whole book and take notes. Make a brainstorm of any impressions you have. Try and finish the book first. If you didn't for any reason, tell why. Give an idea what it's all about, but don't summarize the whole story. Don't give the ending away. Mention the genre, mention the format if necessary, the layout, binding, typography, something about the author. These could be one paragraph each, the themes, the characters, the setting, the writing style, or readability. Back up what you say with evidence. Is the book unique? And do you recommend the book or not? Let each of these ideas be one paragraph of your review, then your review will be logical. Minutes of a meeting. At the beginning, give the date, time, and place. Say who's present, who made apologies, minutes of the previous meeting, matters arising from the previous minutes, and then item discussed, follow the agenda, another item discussed, follow the agenda, and there might be several more of these. Once you've finished all of those things following the agenda, the meeting closed at this and this time. So in fact, those are all the bits of objective writing I'm looking at now. We go right back to grammar. We've dealt with these clauses before, but just to remind you, a group of words with a finite verb is called a clause. This is a noun clause. What the architect knew about skateboards, because that's the name of what could be written on a small notepad. What he knew about cricket was dangerous. What he knew about cricket is your noun clause. Adjectival clause, who wears a big red coat is telling us more about the man. So that's your adjectival clause. And then these are all adverbial clauses. Soon after he arrived, he's telling us when he sent the message. So it's an adverbial clause of time. I stood, where did I stand? Where he could clearly see me. An adverbial clause of place. Because he'd not worded it clearly, an adverbial clause of reason. He stood on the platform so that he could see more action. That's telling us why he sat on a platform. He was so clever that people could not understand him. That people could not understand him is the result of his cleverness. Here are adverbial clauses at the beginning. If you fall here, what will happen? Our adverbial clause of concession. Though I tried to convince her, there's your main clause, I failed badly. Main clause here, the dish is not as tasty as it was before, is a subordinate adverbial clause of comparison. I don't necessarily know these names to label each of the adverbial clauses, but those are different kinds of adverbial clauses. One or two more noun clauses. Mr. Patty told us. What did he tell us? What we would study in history. What is still a secret? Where the theatre will be built. So those are noun clauses. Adjectival clauses. Any child who goes to that house, that's telling us more about any child. Who has learnt the most is telling us more about one. Which place? The place where the monkeys had lunch. That's your adjectival clause. Which decision? The decision that Ali made. That's our adjectival clause. Here is the store that sells gelato. Which store? The one that sells gelato. It's an adjectival clause. Complete the proverbs and idioms. She was out of her what? Meaning she was mad. She was out of her mind. The property's falling apart. It's going to wreck and ruin. I'm available anytime you need me. I'm at your beck and call. The leading runners were very close to each other. They were equally paced. They were neck and neck. We will find ways and somethings to raise money. In other words, we'll make a plan. We'll find ways and means to raise the money. I don't know the details. I don't know the ins and outs of this matter. Don't assume things until the final details are known. Do not count your whats before they're what. Do not count your chickens before they are hatched. What's next? Part of speech. It's been 30 years. How many years? It's telling us more about years, so it's an adjective. Through, showing relationships, so it's a preposition. You see the Lee, you know it's an adverb. How did she work? She worked tirelessly. He likes chocolate. It's the name of what he likes, so it's a noun. That joke is funny, is and are always verbs. We served the popcorn in a salad bowl. It looks like a noun, but it's telling us what kind of bowl. So here it's an adjective. Your hair needs a trim, the name of the thing that your hair needs. My mother spices her pie. That's what she does to her pie, so it's a verb. How should we turn? We should turn left. Turn is a verb, so it's an adverb. One word to replace the underlined words. How must I return to work? Without delay, immediately. I will see Anne when she comes back again. One word for comes back again. I will see Anne when she returns. The pearl necklace is not genuine. What is it? It is fake. Anna removed the wrapper from the box. I'm adding that to the underlined part. Not the box part. Removed the wrapper from. What did she do? She unwrapped the box. The box I don't want underlined. So what did she do? She unwrapped the box. His attempt was a waste of time. His attempt was what? One word for a waste of time. His attempt was futile. Moving on. Choose the correct word. Which one is an aeroplane? That means simple. But an aeroplane is that one. You should not waste the food. That's the part of your body that should be slim and trim near your tummy. But to throw away what has not been consumed is a waste. May I have another piece of cake? That's peace and quiet. But a piece of cake is this one. That's the root of your tooth, the root of a plant, but the quickest way to get somewhere is which route did you take? Correct the spelling errors. That's if you take something that's not yours, but a very hard metal substance is steel with a double E. That's a chessboard, but not knowing what to do with yourself is that board. You are a real angle. Of course, you're not a real angle. You're a real angel. One man, two men. One woman, two women. You separate into parts. And you have definite plans or definite plans for the weekend. Provide antonyms. To contract is to get smaller. To get bigger is to expand. Opposite of reckless, may be careful. Opposite of sudden, gradual. Opposite of conceited, humble. Opposite of inferior, superior. Opposite of definite, tentative. Opposite of nibble, gobble. Or quaff is another word, but let's just go with gobble. Words starting with an O. Extremely unpleasant or repulsive. What an odious little man he is. All-knowing. A book that has a narrator who can see everything that's going on. You can say the point of view of that book is omniscient or all-seeing. A series of 8 notes occupying the interval between and including 2 notes, an octave. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do is an octave. Hopefulness and confidence about the future or success of something is optimism. The opposite of pessimism, seeing the dark side, optimism, seeing the cheerful side. The formation of a word from a sound associated with what is named cuckoo and sizzle. We did this in tutorial F, onomatopoeia. Not aware of or concerned about what's happening around one is to be oblivious to what is going on around one. A notice of a death, especially in a newspaper, an obituary. Not being influenced by personal feelings is objectivity. Letting your personal feelings influence you is subjectivity. Only one more page of vocabulary. Obedient or attentive to an excessive or servile degree. To be too obedient is to be obsequious or sucking up. The state of being unaware of or unconscious of what's going on around one is oblivion. Relating to the sense of smell. Olfactory has to do with your sense of smell. A figure of speech in which apparently contradictory terms appear in conjunction. 2 opposites next to each other, oxymoron. Writing note for the week, use details, show, don't tell. Instead of she was angry, show her emotion by describing her clenched fists and tight jaw. Instead of telling us that the car was nice, show us the details of the luxury Jaguar you are describing. Your details should be accurate and well researched. Writing topics for the week, a current social issue that you're passionate about, a memorable trip you took, detailing the sights, sounds, and experiences that made it special. Maybe don't try and do the entire trip. See if maybe you can focus on just one small part of that trip. Analyze a piece of art, music, or literature that has impacted you. What's the meaning of happiness? A day in the life. A cultural tradition. What matters to me most? Or that picture. One more time, a current social issue that you're passionate about. A memorable trip you took. Analyze a piece of art, music, or literature. What's the meaning of happiness? A day in the life. A cultural tradition. What happens to me most? or the picture. To end our tutorial, vocabulary quiz. Hardship or misfortune. Adversity. Concerned with beauty or aesthetic. I said it by mistake. Concerned with beauty or artistic taste, it's aesthetics, or I'll just put aesthetic, is aesthetic sense. Having more than one possible meaning. This describes something that is ambiguous. It's an example of ambiguity if it has more than one possible meaning. Absence of government or order. I think of this word as meaning lawlessness, starting A-N. Anarchy. Natural ability or talent. Aptitude. Very difficult or tiring. Arduous. And then kind and generous. Benevolent. And that pretty much brings us to the end of our tutorial. Hope you'll join me next time for Pictures and Persuasion. We'll be looking at analyzing pictures and analyzing advertisements. So it's quite an interesting one. I hope you'll join me next time. Thank you for joining me this time. And until I see you again, go well. Bye-bye.